Give me a second. Hey, what's happening, family? Before we get too far into anything right about now, I just want to welcome special guest. We used to call him a panelist, but don't know what happened to him really. He just kind of disappeared. Everybody, welcome to the stage, dude.
Oh, I got demoted to special guest, man. I got it, man. Work's been kicking your boy's ass, man. Oh my goodness. Now, special guest, bro. I tried to log on as a different log on page, bro. I thought I was on the wrong site.
That's hilarious, man.
Who's the new guy?
Oh wow, that's what we doing now, Steph. Really? That belated Happy Mother's Day.
Thank
Right?
you.
Yeah, real.
So much.
That's so funny.
Rich.
So we'll start with you. Where you been? How you been? With and what? First off, how's your mom doing? Let me start there.
Oh man, I appreciate you asking about that, man. She's doing good. So my mom had a surgery. She had to have brain surgery. She had a lot of excess fluid on the brain that started to come out through the ear. So they had to go in, patch up that passage, right? Remove some of the excess brain fluid, which ironically causes you to be dizzy. You get vertigo.
Yeah.
So a week bed rest in the hospital. She had a week bed rest at the house, and now she has limited mobility, right? So I went home, helped my dad reorganize things. She had a garden, so we had to work that and just spend some time with her. Yeah, but she's doing good now. She's we crack jokes. She can't sneeze, can't laugh too hard, can't cough.
Yeah.
Not supposed to. You got to keep the mind stable. But it's cool because now I get to call her a waterhead.
Ooh.
So that's nice.
Yeah, she can't even
call her what?
A waterhead because she has a big head. My mom has a huge head. My mom, yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
bro, no.
She does. She does. When she had a whole family call to talk about it. It was serious. I said, I knew your head was abnormally large. Man, that broke the silence right there. So now we know why. It's scientifically proven.
Wow.
Well, absolutely glad that mom is doing well, man, and on the road to recovery. So what at work has had you like that?
We gotta, there's still countries that want to work with us, ironically. So I had to go out to one of them for a MPC. We have an exercise going on, so I went out to New Delhi, out in India. So that was different.
They changed from New Delhi.
And you know what?
I knew it.
That's the Alabama degree calling
New Delhi. Yeah, cut it short.
Yeah.
So was out there. It was pretty cool. A place I had never been anything like that before. So I got to go back, I think in July.
I see you got a tan too.
I was out in that sun.
Yeah.
I was outside. Yeah.
For
We had the performance tan going on.
Oh man, you that's a new footprint for the command.
Yeah, it is. What is it? It's in that side of the world, everything's tiger something.
Yeah.
So it's a tiger exercise. I get it confused with three
Tiger
other
ball.
countries that have and there's two other ones that have a tiger something.
Yeah. There's
one of those tiger exercises.
Yep. I know about like 3 or 4 tiger exercises that happen during RIMPAC. So they happen simultaneously, and they every now and again they have some cross-pollination during that, as well as Polynesian islands going all the way through that area and then crossing over continental. So that's dope. That's what happened.
We had a Tiger Woods incident when you were. I'm just kidding. Never mind.
But it's funny. Tiger did have an incident. I think it was when he was pulled over again, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
he flipped his car.
He loves flipping
his car.
rovers, and it's his hobby, flipping rovers. I'm like, boy, that's my dream car. Stop! Don't do that.
I know he's better at flipping rovers than he is golf right now.
Ooh, Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Well, yeah, he can't be doing much of anything. He should be stressed out.
Ah.
He should be
But
stressed out.
they're about to look at his prescription history.
Yeah.
Cause he had some in his pocket, not in the bottle. They were just like in his pocket, like M&M peanuts.
Yeah. Well, you
I
need
feel
that when you play in the jester, you know. You need
And
that.
when he said, "Oh, I was just on the phone with the president," I was like, "Wow."
He need a driver. That's what he needs.
He has the money
Yes.
for it, Wig. Why not? Why doesn't he have one?
You know what he said? He don't want the driver in his business.
Well,
Well,
do
what
right.
business?
Promise me window.
No. Tiger like to do that parking lot pimping. He like to go to Perkins and get him a waitress.
Ah.
You know, that's the problem with the driver. Tiger
Oh,
don't-
man.
You know,
He like he like to go to Perkins when he should be going to Popeyes, but they ain't gonna say nothing.
Right.
I ain't gonna say he gonna get extra biscuits, you know.
Hey, he got to figure his life out. That's for daggone sure. But moving to the upper right hand box, Stephanie and Lynn, how have you all been so far this week?
been a good start to the week.
Just kidding. Anyway,
Oh,
We've upgraded the firm.
yeah.
Oh, snap. All right.
So now we're because we just had almost every conversation involved one of those three things:
Yeah.
a will, a trust, or a power of attorney. And what we found is that lawyers can do this work, but lawyers too often just want to print up a boilerplate document, overcharge you for it, and then never see you again.
Yeah.
Where with us, we're going to charge you one time, because then there's the billable hours too.
Yeah.
But then if you have questions about the document and you call the lawyer up, now you're on the clock.
Yeah. Yep.
With us, you're going to pay one time. You can call
Oh, did Lynn freeze up?
we're excited about that because we're now bringing more solutions to the table than we ever have before, and it just became time. We've been getting this question for years now,
and we've been just referring people.
and yeah, you refer to a lawyer. The lawyer never refers anything to you.
Right.
That's a one-way street. Like where normally you'd like to have some reciprocation. Nope. Lawyer never calls us up and say, "Hey, I got something for you." Never happens. But we're sending business to them, and then people are calling us complaining.
Oh,
I can't get them on the phone. I can't get them to return my calls. They got my money, but they didn't finish. And you feel bad because you're powerless.
Yeah.
So now all that is going to be swept away.
okay.
Some more education and information.
Yep.
And
That's
helping
good.
And I'll tell you what's going to happen. A lot of people are going to realize, I don't need trust.
Really?
Oh yeah. Even though we could sell them one, that's not what's going to happen.
If they're adamant about it,
That's not what's going to happen. So, because most people don't. They don't. But TikTok and Instagram and Facebook got people thinking, "Oh, I get a trust, I get $1 million policy, and I'm rich, and then I can borrow from the trust because the $1 million policy is in there." And then I remind them, "You have to die."
Ah.
And then the conversation, "Oh, I got to die." In the conversation, now they don't want no insurance, and they don't want it, and they don't want no trust. It's just the end of the whole thing. So it's a movie, or at least a series. It's a season series. Up and down, because it's crazy. It's crazy out here in these streets, but we love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna end up educating a lot of people to the fact that you can avoid probate without a trust.
Yeah.
We can show you exactly how to do that, because that's what the trust is for. is to avoid
Because
probate.
probate can be what, like 9 months?
Oh, 9 months is a quick probate.
Yeah.
Most of them 12, 15, 18 months.
Yeah.
That's insane.
3% of your assets going to the judges and the lawyers and the county. Yeah, all that stuff. And it's all avoidable. So we're
I think
excited.
that's a nice service you guys are offering though.
Yeah.
That's real good. Yeah.
We're excited about it.
Well, yeah, I definitely got to talk to y'all about it and see if it's something that I need right now or just get things set up and moved and shaped in that fashion. So, and plus we gotta talk about it. We'll have to talk about it somewhat at length.
You know what our motto is? The Majerus Group is here to help.
Yeah.
Yep.
I dig it. So we'll definitely dial in on that. All right, Wig.
What's up, man?
How's your week been so far?
You know, mine. Hey, I'm just happy to be in. I could be in a lot worse place. That's how I look at life now.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, but I did see something amazing. What was it, yesterday? I watched a Senate thing. I don't know if you guys seen Mitch McConnell.
The shell of
Oh,
So basically you're telling me you rather us watch him die on TV than take the chance on losing the seat.
oh yeah. They'd
And
much
then,
rather.
right, and then I think I seen Trump tweet out or something like that about the guy that reminded him about some other people had to ask questions
Yep.
that he should be fired.
Yep.
We are in a sad place.
This is America.
Hold on a second. Wait, did you repeat that, Mr. Wig, about somebody said they were willing to die?
No, I said I said the Republicans are willing to let people watch this guy die on TV versus trying to let him lead his seat and take the chance of a Democrat taking it. That's the only reason that guy can still be there, because I promise you he don't know where he is.
He doesn't.
He's still freezing up?
Yeah,
Well,
he's buffering. He's buffering.
Yeah.
He's definitely buffering. You know, like I said, it's just sad. It's just sad. But I think he's suffering like that because of all the dirt he done did to people. I'm gonna leave it right there.
There you go. It's coming back to get him. He can't. Yeah. I'll agree with you on that. And of course, last but not least, Rich.
Let's go.
That's what I figured.
hey.
That's what I figured. So last week, that Deuce missed. We were talking about and exploring the different ins and outs of the Voting Rights Act, 1965 Voting Rights Act, Section 2, gutting. And the effects are starting to be seen. They haven't been felt just yet, but they've been seen. And Rich actually called and asked me to continue this conversation, which was perfect timing because I was trying to figure out which way we were going to go this week. So with that being said, I'll throw the first question over to Rich as to what is your take at this point on the Supreme Court's decision and how it's shaping up in the country.
Well, I've been watching a lot of social media videos from African Americans who are upset. I see the state, I think it's a state senator or a state representative in Tennessee, Justin P. Pearson, burned the Confederate flag down in Tennessee when they had their congressional meeting, the state congressional meeting about this situation.
Yeah.
A lot of African Americans are doing a lot of talking. And I'll quickly go back to Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett that should have won Texas. See, I wish Lynn and Stephanie had never told me about all those black voters down in Houston, because I didn't know. And that really upsets me.
Hello, wait.
'Cause-
Sorry, Rich. Tell me what happened. What about the black voters in Houston?
They didn't vote. They didn't vote.
We did.
And
A
not just
million black voters in Harris County.
registered voters.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So with
And-
that, I'm sorry,
And
go
she
ahead.
lost by 155,000 or
Well, so here's why I'm really upset about that. Her strategists, they did tell her correctly. The campaign wasn't accomplished. It wasn't run effectively. But if there's 1 million registered black voters in Harris County and only 164,000 turned out,
closer to 180, but same
Okay.
difference.
all
Same
right.
difference.
What's this? Okay, 180. Okay.
Mhm.
If there's 1 million registered black voters in Harris County and only 180,000 turned out, and Tarico did not beat her by more than, I'm trying to go back in the numbers,
Right.
60, 70,000?
Yep. And he texted me every day.
Well, good. I'm glad because he needs black votes. So
Mhm.
here's why I'm so upset. I was convinced for so long that Texas can never be blue. I was wrong.
It's on its way.
If you have that many African American registered voters in in Harris County, you will have to force every white man in Texas who drives a pickup truck, and there's a lot, to come out and vote Republican. You will force their hand.
Yeah.
We're not even forcing their hand.
And
So-
you got a gang of them. You got a gang of them up in Dallas too.
Mm. Mhm.
So when I see that,
But you saw how they did. You saw how they did her in Dallas. They switched. The Republicans switched
The voting.
the location.
Yeah.
yeah,
So they were used to being able to vote wherever they wanted to.
Yeah.
right.
But then on election day in the 0 hour, Republicans said you can only vote
Hold on,
this
hold on.
place.
Wait, I know you're right on that. They've done that in St. Louis when President
Oh,
Obama
yeah.
was running. So
Easy
what I've
work.
always said to African Americans, even though they've criticized me for photocopying my ballot, I've said if you vote by mail, you can eliminate some tricks. Some tricks. If you're waiting to the day of the election and you're African American to vote,
That's what I told
If
you.
you're-
Early voting.
Vote early.
You can vote at any polling
Any
place.
location. Yeah.
There's over 100 places you can vote for early voting.
and so when you ask me about my feelings about the Supreme Court, I'm like, gut the whole thing, because when I see African Americans, if you're age 70 going up, and you say, hey, young man, I'm going down to the polling station on voting day, you can't tell me nothing? Okay. I can't tell you nothing. Age 70, black man or woman who put their time in, who probably marched in the 60s. You're right.
Probably got wet with a fire hose.
Exactly. So I can't tell you nothing. I can accept that. But anybody kind of in the 50s going down, now I got something to say to you. Because now we're going to carry that legacy. So when they did it in 2013, when they took off the first Section 1 about, southern states have a history of discriminating, they can change how they run their voting process without getting confirmed or approved by the U.S. government. I wish they had just gutted the whole thing right then and been done. In fact, I think they still had majority conservative on that court, or may have been really close. I didn't do that check. But I wish they had gutted it right then. And then they could have justified it by saying, well, we had a black president. He's gone too far. He's in his second term, so let's just go on and gut this Voting Rights Act. No, they waited to now. That's what I'm upset about. If you had done it a long time ago, we would have had time to regroup. But you did this year when you could have did it last year. You waited till some of these primaries are right around the corner or some are already done. So when I see black folks emotional and upset, especially from the deep south.
Don't forget the ones that they delayed so they could do this, so they can make this.
They could have did this last year, then they wouldn't have to delay it. So
because now it's super obvious.
Huh?
Now it's super obvious. You know what you're doing.
Here's my thing. Missouri is the South. But is it like Deuce in Alabama? Is it like South Carolina? No. Missouri ain't much better, but we ain't Alabama.
Well, you saw what South Carolina did. They said no.
Well, hold on, because I was waiting for that one. But that just shows me in South Carolina that congressman that calls himself Mr. Clyburn, that man carries some weight. And it ain't. But here's the thing: it ain't just with the white folk, with the black folks down there. Now, I believe he's in the black fraternity. He's a Q, I believe, if I'm correct. But he's carrying more weight than just that with them white folks down in South Carolina, because they should have been doing a redistrict, and they said, "Nah, we don't want to."
It's not in their best interest.
Okay. So politically, strategically,
at this time,
Alabama, they doing a redistrict.
Oh, Kay Ivey woke up from her casket to sign that documentation. She couldn't wait. I never seen Kay move so fast in her life.
So when I was doing the numbers, this is what I said a few months ago. I said Trump would never have gone, President Trump, would have never gone to Texas to start this war unless his strategist said, when we move, California will try to equalize that move. But we got the rest of these moves coming. And by the time it's all done, if all these states do this redistricting, they got a chance to pick up 18 seats.
Well, in the words of the great King Leonidas, as he spoke with Xerxes, if
right.
So before, because I'm gonna pause you right there, because I understand where you're going, and I think you have teeth in the dog in that fight. But let me push it down to Deuce and see where he's been with all of this.
You know, it's funny. It took us, if you start like from the 60s with King, X, Garbs a little bit before, Black Panther Party a little bit after, all that movement to get the Voters' Rights Act, man. It took, going back to Frederick Douglass, it took eons, right, to get that act in place. And man, when Louisiana went to the Supreme Court, Louisiana versus
Calais.
Yeah, Calais.
Louisiana versus Calais. I'm gonna commit that to memory. When that fell, I never seen these folks move so fast to do the redistricting and try to water down our districts. When it comes to hurting the minorities, specifically us, where they move like Usain Bolt.
But Deuce, if black folks down there had never contested, maybe we'd have slid out of this. Because remember, when they did it, and they said black folks said, no, we should have a second district. And then the Louisiana government said, the court system said, you're right, do a second district. And then the non-African Americans said, oh, really? We'll take this all the way up to the United States Supreme Court.
Yeah. They knew they had it in the bag.
Yes.
Yeah. They knew they had it in the bag. There's some backhand deals before then. But it's getting tougher. You said 18 seats could possibly be flipped.
Can I ask a question real quick? If that's the case, if they knew they had it in the bag, it wouldn't matter what we did. They was going to do something anyway, right?
Well, wait a minute. The low end is 8. Let's go with the low end of 8 for the Republicans, and the low end for the Democrats for sure should be 5 for California. Because California, if they say blue, you're gonna get blue.
But my only question is, all right, so Texas was legal. They never put it to a vote, right? Tennessee's doing it. Alabama's going to do it. Probably going to be legal. Virginia voted.
Mm-hmm.
The voters answered.
Yep,
right?
The court
do the redistrict. And then Virginia's Supreme Court said, nah.
They didn't do the process right.
They didn't do the and the other states did?
Yes.
By not putting it to a vote.
Hold on. Please explain that one to me.
So allegedly, now hear me out on this. What's reported on TV, because I didn't look this exact part up. Allegedly, Virginia has this thing where if you do the redistricting or whatever, you have to do it in steps before an election. And they didn't do it quite before the election. They kind of did it like during the election. That's what they claimed on TV. And that's how the court system said, if we're going to follow The Virginia Supreme Court said if we're going to follow the rules, you didn't do this quite right. And that's why if they try to take it up to the United States Supreme Court, they'll probably lose.
All right, so let me shift over to the first box in the right to Lynn and Steph. Where are y'all at on all this at this point?
It's a long way to go. You know, I expect, you know, like a Netflix series, there's going to be some ups and downs, some rights and lefts, some curves, some dips. Right now, it looks, because what, a month ago, this was going to be like a blue tsunami or a landslide. We talking about one house, both houses, you know, that whole thing. And now, you know, everybody's looking around. And I just say we got to keep living. You know, we got to live in the present. The midterms will be here before you know it. But in the meantime, there's going to be some more stuff, some more fat for us to chew on. And, you know, you just never know how things will break.
And we need to continue to talk about it and encourage our family members and neighbors to vote. Because I was at the doctor's office today, encouraging my young phlebotomist to make sure she's registered, you know, and voting and things like that. A couple other places I was this week saying the same thing, because when you say it, you know, I mean, some people lie. You don't know if they're lying or not. But if you ask, are you registered? You know, they'll be like, oh yeah. Well, did you go vote? No. Are you planning to vote? Oh yeah. Okay. Well, look that up. And it's like, what? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Because it counts. So I think the conversation is always good, because a lot of things we just have in our heads amongst everything else, all the other noise. But when we get out there, you just never know, you know, who you can talk to and encourage.
But remember back in 2020, when all these folks are doing the Black Lives Matter protests, and the first question I asked, are you a registered voter? Are you participating in your elections? Are you able to get on those juries? At least get to the voir dire for them to tell you, you know, get your ass up out of here. We ain't getting you on this jury. Because remember, I went off on this. They said, well, how come you ain't here marching with us? I said, listen, I may not be marching in the street with you because, number one, I don't really trust you. That's the first thing. But the second thing is, I want to know, are you a registered voter? Yeah. When they arrest Richard Lewis Brown, I want to know I can count on Lynn or Stephanie to be in that bar door. And when they ask them, do you know this brother? They can say, who? I don't know, Richard. That's what I need.
I can be fair and impartial, Your Honor.
Who do we know?
Exactly. That's, to me, in my opinion, and I don't know if the black folks in the 60s really were on that, but to me, in my personal opinion, are you a registered voter? Can you at least do that? Yeah, I can do that, brother. Can you try to vote at least every other election? Because you don't want to vote in every election. But this time in the midterm, we need you to vote really bad. And can you please answer your jury summons? Can you do that?
Oh, yeah.
See, I don't hear that on the podcast and on these, because those particular black folks, highly educated, highly articulate, they're going to be registered voters. They're going to answer their jury summons. They're going to go and be dismissed in the voir dire. But see, people who don't have a felony or misdemeanor on their record, those who ain't gone through civil litigation, you don't know. But see, I've been there. So I'm not telling you, so now I'm talking from feelings, but now I'm going into the fact you have to be a registered voter in this country. Don't talk about the system and how bad it is.
Right.
I'll tell you, and I don't want to stereotype white people. This is not about bashing white people tonight. But the white boy I know,
or black people,
or black people, but the white boy I know at the bar when he's buying me a beer, the first thing he asks, are you a registered voter? Do you vote? Yes, I do. Another round, please. And now we engage.
That's all it takes. Shit, I've been doing this all wrong.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
PBR and tap, baby. PBR and tap.
Yeah. Before you complain, because you know they have people in their family who don't vote, and that embarrasses them.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So this is what I was screaming about the Black Lives Matter. I said, okay, you guys want to march? I look at case by case scenarios, but what I really want to know is, are you a registered voter? Will you vote? I told you when I heard the evidence on Mr. Combs, if I had been in that jury, it would have been a hung jury. Y'all laughed at me. Okay. But I would have been there.
Well, let me push the conversation down to Wig. Where are you at on this right now? Yeah, you're on mute.
You know, yeah. You know what, man? You know, our people fought very hard to get us where we was at. But I don't think the people that we have today are gonna fight hard to get it back.
Yes. 2,000,000,000% agree. I agree wholeheartedly.
We need Mikey on the podcast.
And the reason why I say that is because we're more separated than they were back in that time. Back in that time, nobody had nothing.
Right.
But now you have us at different levels now. So, you know, it's more like we're voting. We would vote for policy back then. Now it's more individualized voting now.
Yeah.
And it doesn't affect me as much as it affects this person. And some of us have that mindset that, you know, if you just work harder, you'll get what you're supposed to get. In some instances that may be true. But I like what my man Michael Beasley said on Shannon Sharp. Don't judge my decisions if you know my choices.
Wait a minute. Mr. Wig, wait a minute. So Michael Beasley said, don't judge my
decisions if you don't know the choices.
Yeah.
You know what? I can't agree with that.
Why not?
Last time I checked, when we came over in that boat, we already knew what time it was.
No, but that's not what he's talking about.
But
he's talking about people. Listen, he's talking about people coming to negative conclusions without all the facts.
Right.
That's what he was talking about.
Right. He's saying that you don't know what struggles I had in my life to where I have to make certain decisions versus the struggles you had in your life.
I can't accept that. I'm not accepting it. I'm sorry.
I mean, you don't have to, but you know.
No. But what I'm saying is, we are descendants of the enslaved African. A lot of your decisions were already made for you. Period.
Right. But the decisions that he was talking about didn't have nothing to do with coming over here on the ship.
Right.
Actually, it all ties back to the ship because you were deemed inferior and you were a quote three-fifths property, and then they freed you in '65 with the greatest civil war on this soil, and then with the Reconstruction years that didn't hold up, so they established the Jim Crow laws, and then they had to come up to '64 and '65 civil rights. Wait a minute, hold on.
Well,
I disagree where you're going with that, Richard. But go ahead, let Wig finish. Go ahead, Wig.
The only thing what really scares me about this whole thing is I pray we can get on a level playing field with these people, because they make rules and they break the rules and then they make them again to benefit them or whatever. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm thinking I had more voting rights than my granddaughter.
It's possible.
No, you still have your voting rights.
No, come on, don't do that one, then, my man.
No, he's saying she's losing her rights.
No, yeah. No, and he's saying that you still can vote, but I don't have nobody that look like me.
You know what? No, wait a minute. This is where I veer off.
This is where the politicians are choosing the people that they want to vote for them, not the people that want to vote for them.
But hold on one second. I said I wish they would have gutted the whole thing. I know that puts me at odds with 99% of the Black community. Now, I don't believe in political gerrymandering. I believe that whatever your state is, just divide the lines equally based off the census, and that's as fair as you can get regardless of color. But this South is an animal. And that's what the Confederacy was fighting for. We want to be able to keep our enslaved Africans and keep this free labor and keep this money flowing in. So the South, is kind of in the sense, when I see black people from the South get elected, I'm oftentimes shocked. But let's go to Tennessee for a second.
But I was about to say, but hold on, you won't have to be shocked anymore in those states because they're kicking them all out.
Well, hold on. Let's go to Tennessee for a second.
Yeah.
So when I called you, Tavis Smiley out here on the West Coast comes on at 10 o'clock on the radio station. He was talking to Congressman Steve Cohen, the Democrat of the only black majority district, the only one in the state of Tennessee. And he's running in this primary against this young black man, Justin P. Pearson. Now, Steve Cohen, a Jew, has been there for almost 20 consecutive years. Okay? So Mr. Pearson is basically saying it's time to get some new blood in. Once they do this redistrict in Tennessee, it's going to be Republican leaning. Will Mr. Cohen, if he beats out Mr. Pearson in this primary, will he beat that Republican in the general in November? This is critical because we're going to really see with all these black folks in Memphis and in the history of Memphis, Mr. Cohen in the past has defeated other black people, including Henry Ford Jr., and then he defeated the brother, I think, Joe Ford. So he's defeated other African Americans, but does he have it in him to defeat this particular African American who's coming? This young man that's coming that burnt the Confederate flag in the Tennessee State Capitol.
So let me say this.
Stop.
Let me say this because I absolutely detest that this is where we are in our history. I'm not surprised. We were going to get here one way or another because we've been lulled to sleep. I blame this on us. I blame this on black people. After I sat down and I started thinking about it and I began to look at how many black folks we got registered. And then I look at the low percentages of turnouts. And then I was watching another brother who was down in Memphis talking to the constituents. And he said, you've got Memphis is 60% black, but you've got about 19% turnout to vote. How can you point the finger? We're not doing what we're supposed to do. And so going back to what Wig was saying, if this is going to be the trend, if we're going to continue to watch booty videos, if we're going to continue to allow YNs to just be out at night, breaking shit, wrecking vehicles, shooting each other. And mind you, these generally speaking aren't the kids that live in the city, but it's an influence from the suburbs that runs to the city. But if we're going to watch these things happen on social media and these videos getting millions and hundreds and thousands of views, they don't need it. This is nothing more, nothing less than what the federal government does with funding. If you don't spend that shit by the end of the fiscal year, guess what happens on October 1? It is not reallocated to you. That's what's happened, unfortunately, to Section 2 of the 1965 Voting Rights Act. September 30th or 31st hit. 30th. Wait a minute. January, February, March, April. No. But the last date of September hit.
It's 30th.
October 1 came around. And they said, hey, we pulling that allocation. You don't need these votes. Matter of fact, we don't even need that representation in Tennessee. We're gonna contest what you guys did in Virginia because clearly you don't need it there either. Who's next? Alabama, what y'all doing? I know y'all having major storms down there, but let's hurry up and do it any goddamn way. We finna tear it back down, and once we figure out, once you begin to pay this in blood again,
wait a minute.
We'll reconsider this.
Let's not, hold on. And I'm not saying this because the Deuce is here. Now, when you talked about Memphis and those particular group of black folks and them not turning out is one thing. Now, them black folks in Alabama, I think they do turn out, but I could be wrong.
It depends on,
I'm with aside of what Wig said, mentioned something I didn't think about as being disconnected, not on the same level. Some of these policies might be beneficial to some of the more higher echelon, the uppity Negroes, right? But the element I want to add, I think, Glass, you kind of touched on it, man. We ignorant. Illiteracy is a thing that doesn't exist anymore with us, man. It's gone. It's faded. I remember talking to a young lady. She's a government contractor. She has her own business, and she's one of the few black women, like general contractors, right? So government wants to expand somewhere. She puts in the bid. She gets it. She talks about how dry her email and her work phone has been recently. But you know what she loves? She loves the man in the office. I said, well, why do you love the man in the office, but you hating how dry your phone's become? She said, because that dude is funny and hilarious. I said, wow. Wow. And that's what he has, man. Dude's charismatic as a mug. But because of that, people are blinded to the effects that are happening right now.
You mean charismatic or entertaining? Because I don't see the charisma, but to me, it's just entertainment, like a distraction. People take it as comedy.
I might just say both. Some people do find him charismatic still for some odd reason.
Yeah, okay.
So if we want to get our power back, we've got to begin to control our purses. We've got to begin to control our finances. And I'm saying this so we can pivot into the sports of it all. Go ahead, Rich. I got you.
So when you said about that, that's a great pivot. When you said about two black women, I can't remember their names, up in Minnesota that went after Target, and then the minister tried to hijack and act like he was kind of in charge and all that. So I didn't think that was going to work. I was wrong.
What was his name? Bryant.
It worked. Now, what did we get out of it from Target?
Jamal Bryant.
They claimed they was going to do such and such. They claimed, I don't know what they did, but they claimed that they did.
They didn't.
This is where quote the white man, and I'm gonna say the white man collectively. This is where he calls our card.
Can we say, let's say MAGA?
No.
MAGA's at the front of this.
Hold on, Deuce. I'm not going easy on these white liberals. No. I'm putting them all together this time.
I think that's
I got you, but MAGA's the one that's driving the bus right now.
No, hold on a second. Because I want these white people to come on here. Because I'm not going just after white people in the MAGA movement. I'm going after all of them collectively. If the black athlete in college, since the South, they're trying to really make the South rise again.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
You show people, Deuce.
But what I'm saying, Missouri's hold on. Missouri ain't no better. We've already redid the redistrict for Republicans. So hold on, no.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying,
you got to get your people's too then.
Is
Steph.
if you, me, and Steph. So if the black athlete in those SEC schools, if they said, you know what, we transferring, and I didn't say Deuce transfer to Michigan or out to the California schools. Oh no. That's too easy. I didn't say go to Ohio State.
Where they transferring to?
Yeah, they need scholarships, bro. We gotta look boots on the ground. Stop blaming people. Get out there, work, and educate. Stop blaming people. Get out there, work, showing what you're doing, inform and educate. Do the work at nauseum.
Come on, Ryan Clark. Don't give me that BS.
No. I'm not Ryan.
Oh man, not my boy Ryan.
That's his thing.
Hold on, I have not heard what Ryan Clark said.
I'm telling you, he's saying exactly what you're saying. Putting it on the black athlete in the SEC.
No. What I'm saying is this.
What you saying?
When black folks are on social media talking about we got to fight back, and you got to fight back economically, you pull that sports and entertainment, and I guarantee you a message will be sent, particularly down south. And I didn't say run to the schools in the north or to the west. And if y'all say no, they got to get theirs, then I'm gonna shut my mouth and leave this conversation alone. Because until you pull someone's money, you ain't doing anything.
It's too late. It's too late. It's too
All right.
late.
Well then, you know what?
Raise your hand, Steph. Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you've been to a university and discussed NIL money with that university. We got twin godsons that went through the process. Started at Virginia Tech. They finished at 2 different schools. Trust me, they're not messing up the money because it's not just them.
Right. Okay.
It's everybody. And there was a guy today, I forget his name. He's an Aggie from A&M.
Right.
He minicamp for the Dolphins started on Friday.
Uh-huh.
He quit. I think he quit Monday.
Okay.
And you know what they're blaming it on?
Uh-huh.
His NIL payments.
Really?
Oh,
he got paid enough money from his NIL that he could comfortably say, you know what? I got money to do something else.
So check this out. This one makes me smile. Well, since that's the feeling that the black athlete needs to go to these SEC schools and do what he has to do to get his NIL money, if he even qualifies to get NIL money, and I'm not trying to fight someone's money. So if that's the case, well then you didn't need to target. You didn't need to boycott Target. See, boycott and Target was one thing. When you stop that entertainment,
connect those for me, Rich. You know I'm from Alabama. I need you to connect those two for me. I'm
trying to be brief. It's all about the money. Because you guys tell me this every week. It's all about the money. You guys said, we are not, this is what James said, Mr. Glass. He said, I ain't messing with Target. And he held his ground.
Okay.
And all the black folks across the country was right with him. And they sent them a message. And Target did something to appease,
Jamal Bryant.
Jamal Bryant.
Yeah, I mean, him, that individual. Okay, so they appeased him and they did something. We don't know what. There's no concrete details.
They said that they were going to give him 3 out of 10 things, and he yielded. He thought he was in charge. He tried to yield, rather.
Yeah,
he had to get put on notice that. Look, it ain't over.
And he went back. Yeah,
it ain't over.
My bad.
We still ain't shopping at Target.
Nope.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that. All right. So what I'm saying is, when you relate this to the athletes, because you generate so much, that football program down in the SEC, you generate so much money, not just for the football program, but for that entire school.
Yeah, but the problem, Richard, is a college kid is not there long enough.
Okay.
And if you're uber talented, you only there 2, maybe 3 years. If you're uber talented, and if you're not, you can ride that NIL train for 4, 5, or 6 years.
I wish Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was here, because when him and Jim Brown and Bill Russell said, "Hey, you ain't treating us right. We're gonna have a."
It ain't the same, Rich. Lynn, I thought you were gonna say one thing. I thought you were gonna say one thing. I'm gonna hold on to your hold on, sir. I'm gonna hold on to your hold on, sir. Hold on. All right, here we go. So, what I wanted to say, I thought Lynn was gonna hit it. He went another way with it, which is a good point. The Target thing. You talking about we spend the money anyways. We just taking it from here to over here. The athlete thing, they getting money. So you're telling them to forego that money that they're getting to make no money or less money.
Or less money.
It could be less money to them, could be no money, because you're talking about millions to maybe a couple of
less
thousand.
Money. Zero is less money.
Yeah.
Zero qualifies.
That's a big thing. Money. If I'm coming about the mud, Rich, I'm coming about the mud out of Bessemer, Alabama, and I could go to University of Alabama, and they're gonna pay me, say $4 million, or you want me to go to Alabama State, and they're talking about $4,000.
You know what?
And you got family on your back.
Hey, check this.
You know, family gonna be pissed if I make the wrong decision.
Hey, you know what? Check this out. When you see me get calm, and I ain't cussing, and I ain't glaring, and I'm not going for your neck. You know why I'm so calm? I'm gonna tell you why.
Xanax.
No, I don't do that. I'm gonna tell you why I'm so calm. See, I've been around white people long enough. When they hear you talk like that, you know what they say?
Talk like what?
the way you guys are talking about these athletes going to these schools, when they hear you say those things, they just smile. And I'm going to smile too. And I'm going to shut my mouth. So all this don't mean anything. And that's what I said.
I know what you're saying, Rich. I understand what you're saying
because listen to this. If I'm running for office, you know one of the reasons why people don't run for certain offices, particularly at the federal level, because they know they need money to do that campaign. Now, AOC mysteriously did it on her first term on her own, mysteriously. Okay, but most people, you need lobbyists, and once you start taking lobbyist money, they dictate the pace of what you'll do and what you won't do. And I know because I spent my own money on my own 3 personal campaigns, and so nobody could tell me anything. But because they couldn't tell me anything, and because they couldn't control me because they didn't give me any money, they said, well, he has to go because he doesn't want to play the game. Because my game was for righteousness' sake, for equality for everyone. So I talk it in the Black community. I get at white people and talk to them the same way, and no one can say that I'm inconsistent. When you, as a Black athlete, are producing all this money, and if you say Alabama, I won't touch your home state because that's your home. But that state of Mississippi's racism is at a peak level.
Yeah.
And when a Black athlete down there goes to one of those schools, I have to shut my mouth because they're oftentimes from Mississippi and they can handle it. But when I think about how Mississippi has treated Black folks and Alabama, and it's the most horrendous of all the southern states, and to give them any type of anything, nah, I'm good. I'll do without.
My stepdad, he was born in Mississippi. So like my stepbrother's brother, it's just like you said, it is on a what Key and Peele say, it's on a whole nother level. Like for real. It's so ridiculous. And he was from Coldwater, Mississippi. And when I was a little kid, he used to joke and say, whenever they say, where's Coldwater? He'd say, tell them where it's from, stuffy. I said, it's next to hot water. You know, that's how small it was. But even today when they, went down to bury him and everything, it's just always something. And I don't ever want to visit Coldwater, Mississippi. But some people say Mississippi is beautiful, like the fairs and all that,
Right. Here's why you're never going to get traction with sports. Your window to make money is too short. It's too short. When I had to tell, because everybody knows the running back's career in the NFL is the shortest. Yep. Yeah. Anybody know what the second shortest is?
Is it linebacker or no?
Quarterback.
Because
Middle linebacker.
you're hitting too much.
Not just linebacker.
Yeah.
Middle linebacker. Middle linebacker.
Too much contact.
Yeah. So you got a small window in which to make your money. The window is now extended because college is paying you now legally. Because if you could ball, you was getting paid.
But Lynn,
whether or not. So to ask. Because listen to this, Rich. I told somebody this one time. Michigan and Ohio State is now they're not in the South, but this is the point I was making. I said if every Black athlete left Michigan, every Black football player left Michigan and went to a HBCU,
right?
Every Black Ohio State player left Ohio State and went to an HBCU. When those two teams play, how many people are going to be in the building? 100,000. 100,000 people going to be in the building. Period.
So, but I want you to. But hold on. See, you can tell who's been in management and who's been the boss. You can always tell that when you talk to someone. Someone like me who was fighting for the laborer, for the worker, or fighting for Black folks. You can always tell. And the reason why I say that is this. When they decided to pay athletes years ago, I said, great, free market. And I'm saying, and this is from the South, starting with Coach from Alabama.
Nick Saban.
He was the first one to jump his mouth out there and say, we need to control this money. Oh, right. So you want to put a cap on these young Black men and their earning potential when you know I'm not going to curse. I'm not going to curse tonight.
God damn.
Richard.
I was helping you. That was the feeling.
Yeah.
When you know.
When he had brace.
So when Nick Saban said we have to control this money, because that's why he got out of coaching, because he couldn't control it. So when these white Southern coaches, who I know are Republican, who I know believe in a free market, because there's no one capping their money they get paid from that university, and they're there for life if they choose to be, if they coach well enough. But these same young black men, you want to cap their money? This sounds like the NFL and the NBA, but that white boy in baseball, I mean the white man in baseball, you don't cap his money because he knows his value. So not only am I talking from a union standpoint, so I am guilty. Yes, I wasn't just the union president. I've been pro-union my whole life because I'm for the poor people. But I'm also about a free market because I am told religiously from these Republicans, they believe in a free market. And this is one of the weaknesses of the Republican Party. You believe in a free market when it benefits you. But when it starts to benefit minorities, now you want to come through with your hypocrisy and say that you don't believe in a free market.
Because you're missing the first law, Richard. What's the first law?
Tell others what to do.
Power.
Okay. So what I'm simply saying in regards to the black athlete, when I see young black folks and black folks on TV going off, black men who don't curse on TV, but Mr. Bakari Sellers had to call Kevin O'Leary a dick because he is a dick. He had to call him a dick because Kevin O'Leary was like, so stop your complaining, get over it. And Bakari Sellers is from South Carolina, where black people and their voting means something. So when I see all these black folks putting their lives on the line, fighting the good fight, they need support from other black folks. And this is why I get so upset when I see young black men and women calling each other the N-word in rap songs and demonizing our culture. I don't like that at all. And I stand by that. I said it in the 80s when rap music crossed over and white folks and Asians and Mexicans and all the rest of the Latinos started listening to rap music and saying the N-word. And then I said to myself, this is why the white man said he can't have you in his school system. He can't have you on his work site. He doesn't want you in the sports teams because you don't know how to act. And that's what's me.
With that, we have to do a quick around the horn. I got to go pick my baby up from work in a little bit. I think this will be the only time that we have to do an hour because of that, because she's out of training this. I think today is her last day of training, and then she goes to a regular schedule next week. Also, shout out to my second oldest, Sarah. Yesterday was her 15th birthday. Daddy loves you, baby.
Oh, snap. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's pull up a quick round the horn. Y'all know I ain't going first, but Deuce, since it's been a while, let's get you.
Hey, Fat.
Yeah.
James.
Yeah.
Let Deuce take my time too.
I got you. So Deuce,
hey, no. I was gonna say it's a fight on multiple fronts, man. We got the racial fight, right, with what's going on with the Voters' Rights Act, but also I was listening to I'm in stocks, right? There's this rich billionaire in New York. There's a couple of them up there. This one has a realty trust up there that's makes some money, pays some good dividends. On his earnings call, Steve Rock, he's upset at the whole tax to rich thing, right? That's another fight that we got to tackle because these rich folks ain't getting taxed. On his call, he said when he hears people say tax to rich, he views it as something worse than a racial slur.
Damn.
Right? That's how offended he is when he hears tax. To him, it's an aggressive, I want to take you out statement.
Yep.
Instead of looking at it as a rebalancing, a fair market type of thing, right? So the whole norm, man. And Rich said something about who's the Shark Tank guy? What's his name?
Kevin O'Leary.
You know what he's doing? This dude is trying to build the largest data center ever in Utah. He's a lead guy.
Yep.
So
okay.
The Salt Lake in Salt Lake City.
Yep.
Is drying up. You can see 40% of the bed of Salt Lake right now. Data center is going to draw all that stuff up, right? So now we put data centers everywhere, and that one could create jobs, sure, whatever. It's going to be tax-free. Utah already passed a bill. Tax-free for that. For a dude that's already Probably a billionaire. I'm not sure. It got to be.
How?
Right? How is it going to be tax free?
They're not
I got to
gonna
look at the bill, but I
They're
did.
not gonna
They
tax
passed it. They gave him the Trump gold ticket. It's
Mm.
tax free. So we got to be vigilant. We got to be aware because we're fighting not even multiple fronts. You're fighting racism's always there, right? Economic equality. They're taking that from us. The middle class has been gone. Now we're all in the lower class, and they're about to squeeze that. So we got to be vigilant. We got to come up with a way to fight back. And one of the things is voting. People who say voting is not important, look at everything they're doing to try to dilute your power. If it wasn't important, they want to be focused on that to begin with.
Mhm.
That's all I got.
I can dig it. I can dig it. Stephen Leon.
Good.
Okay. With the voting, I think it's important, of course, to hone in on the current like the younger generations and everything, legal voting ages. But I also believe that it's important to get on or rejuvenate the minds of the older generations and the ones in between. So it's not just the young people, it's also the older people too, because all of us have to get in there and vote. And it's easy to pick at the younger generation because every generation is different, from the next. So I've seen that the younger generation will say like all that marching and all that kind of stuff is old or whatever, and then like the older generation is criticizing the younger people because they feel like they are removed because so but anyway, I think that the education and informing and educating both the old school, let them do what they did, to get the results that they got. The younger people, let them do it how they do it. Like, I wish that Mikey was on this podcast because, like he says, they do things different from us. And because we don't recognize exactly how they do it, we think that they're doing nothing. And that's not the truth.
Yeah.
It's not the truth. So I think that, look, get in where you fit in, boots on the ground, talk to each other, and hold each other accountable. Cut out so much of the blaming, they and all that. But at the same time, talk to your parents, talk to the people at church, talk to the people in the barbershop, everywhere. Do what you used to do what we used to do, and do what's needed, and talk to the young people so that we can get people to vote.
I'm gonna be 58 in about a month, and if I were to sum up my
58?
life,
You don't look 58 at all, bro. Not at all.
Thank you, I appreciate it. But if I were to sum up my life, I've always been a competitor, and when I get at the other party, I always go at the fact that you don't want to compete. You don't want a level playing field, because anyone that I've gone up against, I'm playing to win. A woman asked me this week if I was a CFP, which is Certified Financial Planner, which I'm not. You know why I'm not? Because I don't need to be. CFP means you took some tests and you passed it and they gave you a certificate. But when me and the CFP get down in the dirt, he or she can't compete with me. They're not imaginative enough. And just imagine now, look, the Voting Rights Act thing is like you go to the park and the Republicans say, we got all the tall players. All the tall players on our team. Everyone who can dunk, everyone that can block shots, they're all on our team. And you can have everybody else. And let's jump the ball and let's see who's going to win. And I just dislike that about That's what I dislike about the process. I want to compete on a level playing field. And what's going on is a situation where we're going to have to continue to compete on an unlevel playing field. And the only way we got a shot then, because small ball is a thing, and you can win with small ball.
Yep.
But you got to be all in. You got to be not just registered to vote, but willing to go out there and vote. Because don't complain to me ever and you didn't vote or you're not registered. Like, I'll tell you, I would bet my life that Colin Kaepernick just got caught sitting down during the anthem. People today think that he started out on his knees. He did not. He got caught sitting in preseason. That's all. Because when it came down to it, he wasn't registered to vote and he didn't vote. But he had us all fired up over jury trial.
Wasn't registered.
Wasn't even registered. Wasn't registered. Wasn't willing to go out there and fight with us, because we've seen and this is for, Richard and I go back about leadership. Richard, my type of leader is the king that gets down on the horse and goes out there charging, versus the king that lays back at the castle and wants to get word from a raven or a messenger on how the war is going.
A pigeon.
Not a pigeon, but maybe a pigeon. But that's my definition. That's the leader that I can rock with. The one, because that's the leader I am. I'm a field leader. I'm never going to be back in the tent getting messages. I'm going to be out there with my dudes and my dudettes, if necessary, fighting and competing. And if we get back, and I don't even know if I can say get back to that, but if we get to that, where everybody is competing to win, and in order to compete, you got to be informed.
Yeah.
Then you got to register. And then you got to vote. And if the vote don't come out your way, you got to go and do it all over again. But you got to do it better, stronger, faster. And that's my time.
And it's not easy.
All right. Wig, what you got?
Hey, I'm gonna be quick, man. I pray every night for my granddaughter.
Aww.
Because she's only 4, and I can only imagine what it's gonna look like when she turns 18. From what we're going through now, I just think, I'm like, this gerrymandering thing. The reason why it messed with me, because if you guys talk about leadership, if you was doing such a good job, then you wouldn't have had to ask Texas for five seats. If you believed in everything that you was doing, then you wouldn't have had to ask. You wouldn't have had to start it. It might have. That person might have been playing chess. He might have. It is what it is. Don't make it no righter. So now that they're done with the undocumented, I guess we the next bullet in the chute.
We always been there. They just been waiting. Yeah, we always been there.
So that's how I see it. You could draw up all the lines you want to. As we all said on this call, if we all get out and vote, we can still make it happen. But we got to get out and vote.
Yep.
Yeah,
Register.
I don't care how you draw the lines, or how you do it. We got to get out and vote. So that's me. I told you I wasn't going to be long, Big Glass.
All right, I appreciate you. All I got to say is, hey, I remember my mama telling me, and then also
Rich going last?
He gave it to
I
Deuce.
gave my time to Mr. To Deuce.
Yeah.
Look, this is the second time he did that. You gonna get a timeout.
But I've always been an avid history kind of guy. I remember reading about the Harlem Renaissance. I remember reading about the beauty of the culture. I remember hearing about the rise of Huey. I remember understanding where we were in multiple different phases of our American journey in this American experiment. And I remember a lot of people, a lot of kids around me, we would read about the atrocities happening to us throughout, again, the American experiment. And it never failed that when I was learning about gator babies or how our skin used to be used for
Oh,
couches or how our hair used to be used to fill pillows. It never failed, but somebody would pipe up and say it couldn't be me. I tell you, if there was me, well, I hope that same sentiment is still being felt, because guess where we are? We're headed back of the American experiment to where people are about to be a lot more bolder. They're about to be a lot more brash. They think that people are about to begin to really, really feel. I don't know if y'all see me trolling these folks on Facebook, but I do it for fun because it's a great time for me. But again, like I said last week, I hope folks realize that I am not your Negro. And for everybody who said how tough they would be during those times if they were there, well, welcome to 2026. We possibly have the wherewithal and the environment might be created where somebody might try and turn a hose on again. They've already stripped us out of multiple different things in the federal government, not just with SCOTUS, but not just DEIA, because that wasn't primarily us, but a separation in workers' rights in the federal government. There's been so much that's happened. Listen, folks, be strong now, because now's the time where you're going to need to be. Now's the time where you're going to need to be. And I believe in the Second Amendment. Believe in it. When you go out to these voting polls, believe in all of your constitutional rights. Every last one of them.
You know what's funny? Remember when you said black folks, when it comes to that immigration fight, to stay, sit your butt down somewhere?
Yeah.
Remember you said that?
Yep.
Remember the Asians are going through all the Asian hate? Remember that?
Yep.
Remember the transgender and the gay community was doing all their fighting and everything?
Yep.
After this has come out and we all up here on the microphone acting a fool talking about our rights, where's the rest of the minorities at?
Exactly where we knew they would be. That's where they are.
Yep, we've been telling them.
They're happy that the target is off their back and they are no longer the American nigger. It's back where they felt it should be. That's where they are. And by right, they should be. If there's a fight that I gotta have, let me have my fight. I'm with all the fades. Every last one of them. So at this point, my brothers and sisters, when we fight for what we want, this time, it needs to be specific. I'm not being all inclusive with this shit. It needs to be specific. I gave everybody a plan on how to start controlling our economics, starting with coffee. I said this several years ago. It was an easy plan. We could have followed it. Instead of going to Starbucks or somebody somewhere else, pitch in at a house, get coffee, and y'all start buying coffee from that house and rotate the houses. I laid some stuff out. I told us exactly how much we spend. I've been saying this. But what I failed to do is I never said and stood on getting out there and voting. And now here we are. We have to vote. We have to vote. We have to vote. We have to get registered to vote. We have to believe in voting. We have to inform people that they've got to vote. We've got to show up at the voting polls. We've got to be there. We have to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hold on. See, when a lot of people say that the young black people are not voting, black folks turned out a historic number in 2020 to help Biden win.
Yeah.
So
listen, no. Look, it's not that we can't. It's not that we can't. We've shown that we can do it. We've shown that we can when we want, right? We've shown that we can. The consistency of it.
Okay.
That's our issue. And because we don't have that consistent effort, this is the type of bullshit that they will do.
But they would try to do it anyway. You know, that's why they it's just because like you were saying, who said that? Well, we already know that Trump went and asked for the 5
seats.
The 5 seats if they were doing such a grand job. It's always going to be some shenanigans, always, you know, trying to find any type of loophole. And then it kind of makes me uneasy when, I mean, yeah, of course, nobody's perfect because as far as the voting, but just like a lot of black people have life insurance, you talk to some black people and say more black people need life insurance, or our people don't have life insurance. But guess what? Latinos say that, Asians say that, everybody's, even white people say that our people need to get, but they don't know about it. But it's just different sects of the people that they know that don't know about it. But overall, they do. Even with the voting, it makes you feel like all of us are registered. It makes us feel like, man, we're not doing what we should do, but we are doing our civic duty. Is it enough? It's enough, in my opinion, when you go out and help other people. You've seen people go and get elderly. Didn't Jasmine do that? Get the elderly people on the bus to go and take them to vote. That's something that's done in our communities of the people that are involved with it like that. But the hardest part is to reach out to the people that you don't see, you know, or that don't want to be bothered for whatever reason. That's the hardest part.
Well, we can't keep going. We can't keep going. I gotta go. Keys in hand. My baby waiting. She's 2 to 5 minutes away from the house. I gotta go get her. As always, everybody, thank y'all for coming out.
I'll call you. Pick up your phone, Deuce.
Yeah, Deuce. Answer your phone, text messages, and all that other good stuff. Welcome back, bro.
I got you.
All right.
I'm back.
Hey, y'all have a good one. Be peaceful.
All right.
Good night.
All right.